Mic check, mic check 1, 2. You might get checked when the mic checks on you. Welcome to episode 73 of Stream of Consciousness. I'm your host, Darrell Harris. And today, feeling pretty good, feeling pretty decent. And as always, I have very few topics. So instead of doing a normal show, I'm planning on doing a little first impressions, you know what I'm saying? So I've listened to 3 new projects over the week. And before we get to the big one, which would be Lil Flame, just wanted to talk about the first two first. So first up, let's talk about Nas Magic 2. Now, I liked it. It was a very, very solid album. Nas had bars as usual. And the one thing that surprises me about Nas the most is that he raps like he has something to prove. Like from the first Magic to the Three Kings Diseases to Magic 2, he just really sounds like he has something to prove, even though, 30 plus years in the rap game. I mean, what more do you have to prove? But, if he's hungry, he's hungry. And if he's gonna keep putting out projects like this, then I'm looking forward to him. So Magic 2, I'll give it a solid 8.5 out of 10 off the first listen, and I will continue listening to more. And second up would be Capella Grey. He had an EP out. I don't remember the name of it, but I just want to say first off the bat, 7 songs is not enough from Capella Grey. I need a whole entire album. Yeah, some good Gatorade now. I'm actually blown away by how good that album or EP was. It was like a mix of old school 2000s R&B over current beats. And Capella Gray has the makings to be somebody really special in the industry. So hopefully he keeps pushing and hopefully he continues to deliver quality projects. But like I said, 7 songs is not enough. I need at least 12 songs on your next project, and I need them to be as well as the EP that I heard. As far as your EP Capella Gray, I'll give it a 9 out of 10. That was some very quality R&B. And last but not least, the boy from Houston, the man, the myth, the legend, LaFlame himself, Travis Scott, finally dropped Utopia. Round of applause. Round of applause for Travis Scott for finally dropping Utopia. Now, I want to be careful with what I say here because even though I have mixed emotions about the album off the first listen, I don't want this to be an indictment against Travis Scott because this is the last project since 2018, I believe, was when Astroworld came out. So maybe there was a little bit of rust going into this, or maybe the album will grow on me on more listens. But right off the bat, was I expecting more from Travis Scott? Yes. Am I disappointed in the product that Travis Scott put out? No. But Travis, I put him in a different tier from I don't want to say any names, but I'll say like some of his peers to me would be like a Kendrick Lamar, a Drake, a Cole, like just upper echelon in the hip hop industry. And anytime these guys come out with projects, I have very high expectations for them. And sometimes they live up to the mark, sometimes they don't. In recent memory, I'd say the last project that didn't live up to the hype for me, and I was really expecting something special from him, would be Kendrick Lamar when he dropped Damn. Like, it's a solid project, but it wasn't as good as I feel it could have been. And this is the impression that I got from the Travis Scott album as well. Like, the songs are quality. There's quality songs in there, but I don't think I don't think it was as cohesive as a normal Travis Scott album is, first and foremost. And number two, I just think like not crediting the artist for the features is kind of like weird flex, but okay at this point because he did it in Astroworld, the first Astroworld, and now is continuing to be a trend I see of him just not crediting people for features. I mean, I okay, and I know Drake joked about it last Astroworld where he was number one on the charts, but he wasn't credited on Sicko Mode, and like he jokingly said it rubbed him the wrong way, but if you actually look at Drake's body language, you could tell that that actually did rub him the wrong way just a little bit. And now he's doing it two albums in a row. Kind of weird. But I'm getting off track, so it's not a disappointment, but it did not live up to expectations. So just off of the first listen alone, I had to give Utopia, it hurts my heart to say this, but a 6.5 to a 7. And the reason it's so low would be because I think the features for the first time on a Travis Scott album, the features really outshine the artists. I know in Astroworld you had Drake and Sway Lee and a couple other people who may have shined more on the track, but they weren't the highlight of the album. It was Travis Scott with his ability to mix melodies together and his ability to, like, in a sense, be kind of like a Kanye, to where he doesn't have to be the best performer on the song, but what he does behind the scenes supersedes whatever the artist does. And on this album, I don't feel like Travis Scott did that this time around because, like, just right off the bat, the Beyonce song that's on Travis Scott, like Beyonce's vocals, in my opinion, were more important than the actual beats and beats and production behind it. And there was a Drake song and one more feature, but because Travis Scott doesn't list the features, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say who it was. But yeah, this is. I'm not saying Travis Scott is on a decline. Maybe he was just rusty because one, he didn't get to put out Utopia when he wanted to put it out because, excuse me, what was I saying? So maybe one of the reasons why Utopia didn't live up to the hype is because he didn't put it out when he wanted to put it out. We're not gonna say why. We all know. But maybe that's a factor. And maybe number two, he's a little bit rusty because like this is his first project in 5 years. And that's another axe to grind in another podcast. But 6.5 to 7 off first listen. Hopefully it gets better off of subsequent listens. And hopefully Travis Scott comes back soon with another project because if this isn't as good as I think it's going to be on repeat listens, then yeah, he has to put out something else, bro. Because like normally I disagree with a lot of Twitter people when they say mid, but I'm not gonna argue with them on this one. Is all I'll say. And with that said, may blessings continue to rain down on you and yours. This was episode 73 of Stream of Consciousness. I'm your host, Darrell Harris. See you next time.